Let me put you on game. Somebody could be on your website right now, cart in hand, ready to check out, but maybe they just have that one question that is making or breaking the sale. And all they have is that contact form on your website that says, you will receive a reply in 24 to 48 hours. But they need it right then and there. They're ready. It's just that one burning question. That is where Wix Chat comes into play, and we are talking about it today and why you should implement it on your website. Welcome back to Wix Wednesdays, where we highlight one Wix feature you must have on your website. I'm Dee, the owner of Develop Designs, a web and brand design agency where we don't just start businesses, baby, we build brands over here. Let's get into it. I want you to think of this Wix Chat as your 24/7 business bestie or personal assistant. Basically, when you are away from your website or even the Wix app, you still have a way to connect with your customers as easy as possible. Even when you are available, instead of having your customers DM you or having them your contact form for that 24 to 48-hour turnaround, they could use a chat to quickly get access to you. It's easy to set up, so let's get into it. So from your Wix dashboard, you are going to head to Wix apps. As you can see here, when you search for Wix Chat, you do have a few options beyond just the Wix Chat. They also have the Wix AI site chat. That is going to be a video for another day, maybe next week. But right now we are focusing on Wix Chat. So you just want to click on it. If you do not already have it installed, instead of open here, it'll just say install. You want to click on that and it'll take you to the chat dashboard. Now, let me show you what all we can do here with Wix Chat. So when you have your scheduled chat hours, basically the hours that you are going to be online. So for me, for instance, if I have my hours set 9 to 5, I'm going to change this here to enable chat hours, and I'm going to modify the dates Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, saying that when these messages come through, go ahead and ding my Wix app, send me a notification letting me know somebody is online, sending me a message. All right. If you choose to leave that off, I'm going to go further down and show you what your customers will see instead. So next you have your offline form and your online form, and these are pretty much the same, so I'm only going to go through one. So you have the option to show your visitors the form either when they first open the chat or after they initially send a message, or never, which I don't recommend. I would recommend setting it to either show the form before or after. So if you scroll down a little further, you can see your intro message says to send us a message. First, leave your contact info so we can get back to you. And then you also have your success message, thanks, message us here. I do recommend modifying both to match your brand messaging and your brand tone. You do want to make it feel a little personal and not so robotic. So if you have a special name for your customers, for instance, you can include that in there, like thanks business bestie, or thank you Lash Squad, whatever you call your customers to make it feel like you have that special connection versus making it seem like it's such a generic or canned response. So next you have your frequently asked question buttons. If everything I've said so far have been going in one ear out the other, this is the time that you need to listen up. So this one right here is where you can create questions and answers that you may receive often. For instance, in my business, I often receive, oh, how do I book a consultation? So I would set up a question that says literally that, how can I book a consultation? And then with an answer, basically pointing them on how they can book that by providing a link. So I'm going to go to add a question. So there is currently a frequently asked question on her site. I am using one of my clients' sites to demo this. So it is pulling some of those frequently asked questions that are already visible on the site and placing them in the chat. So for this one, I'm not going to use one that already exists, but just create a new one. So going back to consultations, it will be as simple as, how do I book a consultation? And my answer, just book it. Don't write that. I am just going to use this for this example. And that's pretty much it. There is a limitation on 5 questions that you can add for this section. You do want to make sure you are only putting your most asked questions. Next, we're going to scroll down to sender identity, which is basically how you show up on your chat when you're responding to your customers. So the first one, which is recommended, it basically just shows her logo and then the name of her company, Bria Braden. The next one will be collaborator profiles. So let's say you have multiple employees which all have access to the chat. In this case, then you'll add collaborator profiles so that whoever they're speaking to, that is the profile image that is showing up. If they don't have an image, as you can see here, it'll just show the first letter of their name. And then next you have no sender identity if you just want to keep it plain and simple. But I recommend, as you can see here, Wix recommends as well to choose the business option for your identity. Next, let's say you're using the members option for Wix. Let's say you have a group or a subscription where clients pay a monthly fee for additional access to you and your company. You can use the members chat, but for that, you do want to keep in mind that they do have to be logged in to be able to access it. This is good if you have a community or a mentorship, for instance, and you are able to quickly respond to them versus having them text your phone. Next, you have your channels, and that is basically to connect with your customers even through Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. If you actively use those or would like to, go ahead and add that. I personally do not use anything outside of email, chat, contact form to connect with my customers. But that is completely up to you and what works well for your business. So let's take a look at the chat from the front end of your site of what your customers will see. I am on my client site here, Bria braided it, and as you can see the bottom right, it says contact us. So I'm just going to click on that. So you do have the option to those frequently asked questions. As you can see here, the one that I added, how do I book a consultation? If I click on that, it's going to automatically send that and then send a response, which is going to be your answer to that frequently asked question. Again, you don't want to write just book it, but you do want to make it fit your brand. All right. So let's say that none of the frequently asked questions actually answer that question. That's when we come to that form that we mentioned. So for me, I'm just going to put D, and I'm going to put my email and click submit. As you can see, there's the thank you message that says thanks, message us here. And then I could add anything additional. I could upload a picture. I could even send some emojis. Now my client is probably on the other end of this like, what on earth is going on? She probably texted me by now. I'm surprised she haven't responded, but this is what your customer is going to be able to do, and from your end, you're going to be able to respond. And I'm going to show what the other side of that looks like when you respond and when it pops up through the app. So going back to the dashboard, as you can see here, if you go to inbox, and under all messages, that is going to be me on the other end where I just sent those messages. So as you can see here, the question was asked, how do I book a consultation? And then it automatically sent just book it. Basically exactly what the customer saw on their end, that is what you're going to see on your end through the inbox. And even if you go through the Wix app, it's the same thing. You click on inbox and you will see the full dialogue here. Right. And then from here you have the option to respond. Right. And going back on the customer's end, as you can see, hello pops up. Another great advantage of using Wix Chat is that it allows you to see customers on your website in real time, and it'll show the city and state that they're currently in. And once you see them on your website, you have the option to start a chat yourself to say, hey, do you need anything? Is there anything that I can assist you with? That's another way to connect to your customers. You don't have to necessarily wait for them to send a chat first. You can do so first as soon as that notification pops up that somebody is on your website. And that way it humanizes your brand a bit, basically showing that there is a personal connection, there is another human on the other side of this, and it's not just a robot. If you found this video beneficial, let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all here next time on Wix Wednesdays, where we highlight one Wix feature you must have on your website. Until next time.